right. First and foremost, I'd like to thank Nika here for doing this interview with me. And I hope that this interview video can interest you, the viewer, whether you be on YouTube, on IG, or wherever you happen to come across this video, please support Nika's work and check it out. So the first question I'd like to ask to you, Nika, is for people out there that don't know of you, would you be able to introduce yourself? You know what's really funny, Nika, is that I don't know exactly where Georgia is, so I had to do some Google searching myself. I have heard of Georgia before, but I have never known exactly which part of the world Georgia is at. So from what I can see, and with your latest music video, Georgia really seems like it's a very beautiful country, especially where you live around. I think that's where your music video for your latest song on your YouTube channel, from what I can see, it is very beautiful, and it's something I'll be very interested in going to see for myself one day. So for people that don't know, what type of music do you make? Yeah, Nika, I definitely agree that your music is very artsy, and I can see a lot of influences in the different genres that you incorporated in your music. There are times where it has some electronic elements. There are times where it feels like it's acoustic music out there, very indies. There are times where it's very post-rock, and a few moments where it feels very cinematic. And I definitely feel like your music is not defined by one genre. But if you're to ask me, I'll say it is still really rooted in the rock element, but it's what makes it very good for me, at least. So for people out there that don't know, do you happen to play any instruments as well? Wow, I actually didn't even know that you actually play a lot of instruments yourself. You know, what's really funny is my piano career only lasted for one lesson, and this was when I was about 8 years old, I'll say. I took my first piano class, and I honestly hated it. But it's cool to see that you stuck through all the way with piano, and you're currently learning violin, probably one of the actually toughest instrument to learn. Yeah, no, I definitely really admire your love for learning music and just taking on different instruments yourself. It's just amazing. So just to kind of further elaborate kind of more on your music, is there any, aside from this current new album that you have out, do you have any other works people can check your music out at? Regarding your new album, was there something that inspired you to write this album? Was it a concept, an idea that sparked you to write this album? You know what, Nika? This actually is starting to make a lot of sense, and I'm starting to be able to piece them together, especially with looking now when I think about the album cover art to what you just described of the concept of your album, talking about state of affairs for Georgia and how you view it. It's all starting to make a lot of sense, and it's very interesting to know that Georgia is in fact one of the oldest countries in history. I actually never knew that. Now that we talked about the album art cover, I'd like to know how it was created, and is there actually a significant meaning behind the phoenix that's actually hand-drawn for the album cover. I would totally love to have that album art cover work or something along the lines like that style, that hand drawing in my bedroom as well. I'll totally have it blown out as well myself. So it's great to know that your girlfriend played a huge role in creating the vibe and the feel when people first see your album. It just really creates a very sense of mystique and a sense of there's more to it, especially when you first look at the album. And that's kind of exactly how I felt when I first saw it. In terms of this album, were you co-producing this with someone else, or did you do everything yourself in terms of the mixing, the mastering, and the recording? What was actually the hardest part in producing this album? Thank you very much, Nika, for your kind remark. Honestly, I'm hoping to educate people like yourself to pretty much understand that music production can easily be achievable at home nowadays. You don't always necessarily need a lot of money and a studio to properly do stuff for you. You can easily do it from the comfort of your own home. All you need to do is to know some essential things here and there and to pretty much get the best results out of what you have. In terms of the track listing, I noticed that it's half English and half Georgian. I hope I said the language right. Is there a purpose why you track listed and titled your tracks in half English and half Georgian? I see. Actually, that does make a lot of sense now. Why you had to use half English and half Georgian, just so it's easier for you to keep track and relate back and connect back to certain points and themes and the content of the songs, so it flows better and it's connect. So it actually makes a lot of sense. I totally understand that now. Out of the songs you have on your newest album, which one would you actually recommend to people that have never heard of your stuff before? Also, out of curiosity, I was just wondering what was actually the most challenging part of writing this album? Was there a specific track that made you struggle the most? Yeah, no, I totally can see that. This I can hear and feel that this is the opus magnum, pretty much like the big grand finale of your whole album, because of what's happening in the music and the build up all the way to that point. Going back to this album, I just want to talk a little bit more about kind of what is the goal you want to reach for this album. So, out of curiosity, will there be any live performances for this album at any point? All right, thank you very much, Nika, for sharing everything up to this point and answering all my questions. And it's great to know for myself and for the audience that's watching this that you have such great goals and aspirations in terms of what you want to do with your music. And it's just something very powerful, and it's something that doesn't really require words. We can all be from different cultures, speak different languages, and whatnot. But then our deep found nature in all of us, which we're all emotional beings, we can all connect. And the best way to connect is actually through music and listening to what you have with your new album. I definitely felt that connection, that definitely feel a journey, a roller coaster of emotions, I'll say. And for closing, do you happen to have any words you want to share with any fans, to the viewers, and to any inspired musician? Alright, thank you very much for sticking all the way to watch this video. I hope you guys were able to learn more about Nika, and I hope this interests you to go check out his works and listen to his music. Honestly, I can do a lot of describing, a lot of explaining, but the best way for you to understand how I felt and to understand more of Nika, just go to your favorite platform, just listen to his new music, all right? And if you guys are interested, I do have my stuff that you can check out, my links as well. I do mixing, I do audio engineering, and occasionally I love doing interviews too with artists like Nika. So thanks once again. I will be seeing you guys in the next video.